Hello everybody, I'm doing a quick video here to kind of show off the Reaper series washes that I picked up. I picked up their Triad, and it came with a flesh, a brown, and a black. For this, I'm going to also show off the coat of arms ink wash for armor. I find it to be a very good wash for armor. I actually prefer the look of that over Bada. Since this is the only other flesh tone I have, I'm going to use coat of arms wash flesh ink. This would have been GW's old flesh ink, and I still have a nice pot of the old wash series from Citadel, Devlan Mud, and the infamous Bada Black. So Bada Black will compete against Reaper's Black and coat of arms armor wash. Devlan Mud will compete against Reaper's Brown, and I will compete Reaper's versus coat of arms flesh. I would have obviously used GW's flesh wash, but I never bought it, so I don't have it to use. I do have GW's green and I want to say red wash from the old series, and I could easily compete it against the secret weapon, the green. But I honestly don't feel that it's necessary to go that route. So we're just going to use my miniatures that I'm working on for my Warboss Day project for the demonstrations of these washes. So let's get to it, shall we? First up, we'll do Bada Black. I will do Bada Black on, I'll do it on the chains on the bear. The only nice feature I really like about the GW pots was the flip open, stay open lid, excuse me. So, get some wash in here. The brush was a little bit damp, so I mix it around, so gets the rest of it a little bit damp. Put this here so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to apply this liberally onto this miniature. Now normally I do this here. One of the guys, when I first started getting back into painting, washes were new to me, and told me the best rule of thumb was to make it wet. So we're making it wet. Let's go ahead and do a couple of chains. And I'm not too worried about getting it on the white, as I plan on coming back in, cleaning that all up. And actually I can leave it because it'll give me a nice nice liner. So there's the E-pad, and that's the set of chains on his right. So let's end that there with the Bada Black. Close it up, make sure it's sealed so it doesn't dry out too bad. Let's go ahead and pop open the Reaper Black. some of these guys off the way. Now the one thing I like about the reverse, this one didn't have it for some reason, is that they have a little, I would think it's a bead, from what I understand it, it's actually a little plastic like bead, supposedly in the shape of a skull. Now I haven't gone through one of these, I just got these washes in one of the videos you saw not too long ago, so I can't really say 100% if that's true or not, but from my understanding that is true. So on the barbarian one, I'm going to go ahead and do her X. This black, going underneath the assumption that I want to make it wet. I'm just going each direction because I want to make sure I get everything nicely. So here's the weapon now after being washed. I think my brush was a little bit too wet for after cleaning, but that's not too big of a deal. It's not going to be a major issue. Now the reason I only did one chain length on the bear was because I wanted to be able to come in and do some in another one, so you can see the look on some other chains. And I'm going to need a little bit more wash to do that. And hopefully, because I'm going to go to bed after I'm finished doing this, I got home about 28 minutes ago. And I'm kind of just winding down. It's my bedtime now. It's 8:28 in the morning. I work third shift for anybody who's new to my channel, doing security. So my schedule is a lot different than a lot of people out there. And I didn't do that in front of camera, I'm sorry. Well, I did this lower chain here. This lower one. Besides the focus. And kind of I want a little bit around to the back, but not all the way. Should be good enough to do a demo or get the gist of it. So wash the brush again. Coat of arms, are you ready? So, I'm going to grab coat of arms, shake her up. This one's the old-fashioned pots. Some brush. Let's see, let's do Grimley's axe here. There's really no detail on Grimley's axe, so there's no point really. Oh well, we'll do Grimley's axe anyways, and then we'll do his helmet. And I really should look up to make sure I'm doing that on camera. So Hover Bros helmet. I'm going a little bit sloppy here. I'm not too worried about it because that's not going to be white. I'm going to do, I think, bronze for the trim. So, being neat isn't too big of an issue. And if I want, I can just go here, surface one, go, do some other white shield. So that's on the white shield. Let's helmet. And then run as X. And we're also going to do some chain with this one as well. Let's go ahead and do the other chest chain, upper part. And I'm not doing that on camera again. So used to actually not painting over my desk that when I do these things for you guys, I pull myself away and I have to remind myself that, hey, you stupid, people can't see what you're doing. I'm all the way back there. That should be good enough. And if you notice, the coat of arms really goes a long way compared to the other washes. It seems to kind of get your brush better and flow out better. My honest opinion, but the Reaper was still very nice. It didn't take a whole lot to get in there. And this is a slide with a coat of arms here. So you're gonna just focus close up front. As you can probably see, the tongue has been done. So it has the inside of his mouth. So that's the black. This video is probably going to be longer than I like, but this is a long part, I promise. First up, I'm going to shake up the Bada Brown, or Bada Devlan Mud. Bada Brown. Sheesh. I think I was doing drugs. First thing I want to do is I actually want to put some of it, Devlan Mud, right here on my clear Reaper palette. Excuse me. And then I want to hear that noise. It's not me clicking or me making a noise clicking something else. There's actually an agitator in here that I was talking about earlier to help mix everything up. So let's put it right next to each other. And as you can probably tell, there's definitely a big difference in look between the two. That definitely looks brown. Looks more like a paint. But we'll definitely have to see how it reacts. We're going to paint up the hero's hair in brown. Yeah, we'll do the hero's hair in brown. So Porn, doing his hair up. Trying to make him look beautiful. With the Devlan Mud. A lot of people out there not too happy with the new Devlan Mud equivalent from GW. I guess for a lot of people this was a master technique to make everything look good, and it's kind of why I've tried to stay away from using washes so much. It's because I really don't want to get into the point in my own painting skills that I rely heavily on washing everything to make my miniatures look good, make things stand out. So here's the Devlan Mud. Once again, kind of a little thick. Actually, I need to remove a little bit up here from his brow. I'll get that off camera real quick. And there's a reason why. You'll see that here just a little bit. But so Devlan Mud. Most of you are probably really familiar with Devlan Mud, so it's just probably enough reason to show it. But I'm doing it anyways. And so just clean it out again because I got a little bit of Devlan Mud in there when I cleaned up the face. We're going to now go into the Reaper brown and Woodchuck, or the Thief. It's going to get brown. You're probably wondering how the hell is, I have names for these heroes, don't they not come with names? And they don't. If you've seen one of my earlier videos, I'm modeling certain characters after the heroes from Record of Lodos Wars. And the thief's name in that is Woodchuck. So her name, she's the only real true thief character, is Woodchuck. For my intensive personal reasons. If you do get this game and decide to paint these things up, obviously paint scheme and names for any of these miniatures is truly and utterly up to you. Do not use how I'm using if you do not like it. And that's all I have to say about that. I've had some people ask me, hey Martin, isn't your army's color scheme supposed to be, for my sworn, it's supposed to be mostly red, and I use a nice dark green. I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to be, but when it comes down to the end of the day, it's my miniatures, not Privateer Press, and I want what I think looks good, the color scheme I want to run them in. So this here is the brown wash from Reaper. Yep. From Reaper. And it's no Devlan Mud, but I kind of say I like the look of it, really. I mean, shit, it just went over white. Pretty good. And the hair's not looking too bad. Especially here on the back where I kind of... Come on, focus camera. Where I kind of just did it all one good swath through. Kind of looks really nice, in my humble opinion. Alright, so that was the browns. Almost to the end. I know you're probably like, shut up, button. Just get this over with or edit the hell out of this video. But, you know me, I'm a rambling fool. So first up will be the coative arms. You can see there's some gunk here at the bottom. And, color's really funky on this one, but it does work for a, oops, got some stuff on my thumb. For a flesh wash. As you can see here, it's on my thumb. I'm a pretty white guy. I think this flesh wash will probably work best on very tanned models like barbarians and stuff, but yeah, you can definitely put it on here so you can kind of get a better look at the color, come on. So there you go. That should be a pretty good representation to you is what the color looks like. Now, excuse me. I did, let's see. I'm trying to remember what I did. Alright, we'll do this. The ones we did the brown with. I did the brown from Coat of Arms, or Reaper on. Oh wait, I'm doing Reaper Flesh. So I'm going to do the one I did Devlan Mud. I'm going to use the Coat of Arms Flesh Wash on. So the Paladin. So that's why I cleaned up his face, because I knew I was going to come to these guys. And hit their faces up. Make them look beautiful. It's maybe not so beautiful, but definitely get some color on them. And I'm gonna go out of my way now to do the hands. Nah, they're small as shit. I'm not gonna worry about it. For all intents and purposes, this is good enough. And I'm sure my video is running a little bit longer than I really intend. So here's his face after getting a nice face wash. You see, I put a kind of lot on there. I slopped it right on in there. Definitely did make the make it wet technique. Okay, put the lid back on. Love these lids. They work so good. And now for the agitator. Now for the Reaper. You can definitely see a large difference between the two flesh tone colors. This is more of a, I'd say this is more of a burgundy, purplish color, honestly. But as my cap will show, definitely kind of dries very different. So let's go ahead and slap it on a face. So Woodchuck here is going to be the victim for this one. Now I've got some brown on her pretty face, but we won't worry too much about that. And there's a lot on that brush, as you can see there. So we do a little bit of a dry off, and then we soak up some more wash. It's too heavy for our liking, because we don't want to remove any detail by putting too much wash in a given area. Especially since I haven't actually painted the faces, and I will be painting them. But a lot of people like to put wash over white miniatures, just so that they can see the detail. And so here's the flesh wash here. So I'm going to, let's see, that was Reaper. So I come back, I'm going to know where my Reapers were. That was Reaper. Coat of Arms, black. Grimly was that. And let's see. Devlan Mud. Let me take this out of the way. this here, and I put Devlan Mud there. The Reaper Black was there as well. Move you out the way. And this was the flash, so I'll put that there. This way I don't have to try to remember when I come back to the video. And I have a pretty shitty memory for the most part. So by doing this, I'm kind of actually helping myself. Oh yeah, I just did the black GW, which I have the pot in my hand, on his knee and the upper left chain. So I'm gonna end this here and go to sleep. When I wake up, I'm going to film what they look like all nice and dry, and let you guys judge for yourself what you think of these products, what you think of the Reaper product. So far, from what I can see and the way they look more like a paint than the other products that I've just shown. But I actually really like the look and the way that they've acted so far on these white miniatures, and so we'll definitely have to give them the time limit to dry and check them out. Alright everybody, see you in just a few seconds, or actually talk to you. Alright, so now we've had plenty of time for the washes to dry, so let's get to it, shall we? Let's go ahead and start with the bear for the various different. I should have stood him last. Let's go ahead and do the GW here, or Devlan Mud, the old range. So here you go. You can see finds the recesses. Probably needed a little bit more up there, but that's alright. Just meant to give off the details at the moment. And that's the flesh wash from coat of arms on there. Here's the wash. And back this here. Now here's the flesh wash from Reaper. It's not that purpley looking color it looked like when I put it on the palette, and I have to say that the colors are a little bleached out in the videos, but there's really not a whole lot of an honest difference between the Reaper's brown wash and GW's Devlan Mud. They're pretty close. I couldn't get quite the pullage with the Reaper as I could with his hair, but you can kind of see it here, the very back of her hair, where she's got a little bit of styling, and it's really spot on. I mean, this looked like more like paint, and it coated better than this. Yeah, so this coated better than this did. This looked a lot more like paint than that, and they really have the same look, other than this covered over to the white a whole lot better. So yeah, this is a little bit more translucent, but the colors are pretty much spot on. So if you're looking for a replacement for your Devlan Mud, the Reaper Wash Triad would be a good buy, or you can just buy it individually if you have that ability. The only thing I would say is if you want a little bit more translucent, so it works exactly like the GW, just add a little bit of matte medium to the mix, and so this way you don't, because with the matte medium you won't cause tide marks or pooling, and then the color will actually dry off to the sides instead of down where you want it, which is, from what I understand, is called tide marks. So I honestly recommend picking up the Reaper Brown for your Devlan Mud, as it works just as good, and you can't get Devlan Mud anymore. So here's the Reaper Wash on metal. Obviously I haven't cleaned up the bolt gun. This is actually GW's bolt gun from the old range. I'm still using those colors till I go through all of it. It'll be last. So here's Grimley's X. You can see that armor wash from Coat of Arms was very thin. Oh yeah, that's right, because that was white on the X tip. I was like, wait a second. It kind of actually made the white a armor looking gray, which is kind of interesting because the very tip of the X wasn't painted. Then the shield that I put over the white primer, as you can see, it kind of has the armorish gray, dark black look to it. And then on the helmet, this stuff really does make your bolt gun metal and other metals really look like iron for, you know, your suit of armor. And you put this down into the shading areas of your armor, and it's going to give you a really nice effect. It's a really nice look. I highly suggest picking up the Coat of Arms armor wash. It's some really good stuff. Alright, and last but not least, Bada Black. Now, let's see, you gotta look at the miniature. The Bada Black is on the same side as the knee pad on the chain. So there's Bada Black. There's Bada Black here. Underneath is Reaper. And I have to say the Reaper is pretty much exactly the same with the black wash as the Bada Black. I like both of them equally. And then Coat of Arms is on this side. And it does a really good job on these chains as well. And I really enjoyed working with the Coat of Arms more than the others. And I honestly think it gives a better look on those chains than the other two. I like the look of the Reaper wash on the chains slightly better than I liked the Bada Black. But the Bada Black does its job. Now, before anybody sends me a comment in the boxes below saying, well, you know, you didn't check out, what is it, something in oil and whatever the new brown wash color is from GW. Yeah, I didn't check those. I didn't put them up here for comparison because, one, I don't own those, and two, I'm not going to go out to buy them. I'm a little bit poor at the moment, so I'm not going to go out and buy them.
to use. And 3, I'm slowly but surely switching over to the Reaper paint line anyways. So I figured, you know, I'm running a little bit low on the Bad Black for some of the other stuff I've done in the past. I was like, why don't I try this Reaper wash and see what their washes are like. I had a Vallejo one that was given to me that I've actually used, no longer have. So I couldn't put that in here for comparison, but it was black and it was pretty much the same thing as the Bad Black. The only difference was you had to actually thin down the Vallejo washes, as they are more of an ink type and they're very thick. So if you get one that's the same as the Reaper, it'll stretch further, the color will stretch further, but the actual pot won't stretch further. And if you're going to Michael's or Hobby Lobby or whatever it is over wherever you live in your neck of the woods for a hobby store, you're going to have to go pick up a matte medium and thin down those washes with the matte medium. That's why the bottle stretches further, because you know you might put 2 drops of Vallejo wash down, but you're having to put another 2 drops of medium or more, depending on how thin you want the consistency, how potent you want it to cover, to make that work. And which I also didn't do because I don't really have the colors. I have a few. I got green and sapphire and stone. Secret Weapon washes are very nice washes. Lots of pigment at the bottom, so you really got to make sure you shake these suckers up good. I don't know if you can see the ring of pigment in this bottom of this bottle, but yeah, you definitely got to shake them up. But they work great. So it's kind of personal preference of what you like and the look you like. So to say GW has the best wash line on the market, I'm gonna say no. And not because I'm a GW basher or a hater, or I'm a fanboy of some other paint line. Yeah, I like Reaper. I won't lie to you. But I also like P3 paints, and those are the 2 paint lines I prefer to use over any other of the paint lines. Now, I also like Vallejo paint lines. I just don't like it as much as the other 2. And it's personal preference. I couldn't tell you exactly why I prefer those 2 over the Vallejo. I just do, from putting it on my palettes. I say go out there, look at the other companies, buy small sample bottles of of the various washes. Take them out, put them on a clear blister package like this, put them next to each other so you can see, okay, this is what Devlan Mud looks like, and this is what the Reaper looks like, and I'm pretty sure I got that right. And you can kind of see what they look like, and even on this container you can kind of see they're pretty much the same color when they dry. This was obviously heavier concentration than that was, and that, like I said, that was a little bit more opaque. It's thinner. Had I thinned this out a little bit, these are probably very spot on, if not spot on. Looking at the miniature that I used it for, spot on. This here was coat of arms flesh wash, so if you want a very dark yellowish brown wash, which I say this would work really great for a tanned person for sure. And you could thin this down too, and then the Reaper flesh wash, which I really like the look of, especially on the miniature. And when you looked at it earlier, it looked like a purple, it looked like a burgundy, you know, like you're going to put wine all over their face. And it dried out to a really nice fleshy color. You know, so put these out on, you know, a clear thing, compare them, put them on a miniature, and see what they look like. You know, just go, you know, Reaper now sells bone miniatures of the bone line, and they're only $1 or $2 per miniature. Buy a couple of miniatures, just 2 of them or 3 of them. You know, get them. You know, if you want, put primer. But from what I understand from a lot of people, primer's really not needed on them. You know, they come white, and just slap some primer, or not primer. If you want, throw primer on them. Put your washes on them, see what they look like. Put the washes next to each other, you know, half on the right side, half on the left side. Leave a little white line in between so you can tell which one's which. Do what I did, you know, put the perspective pots behind the miniatures. And let it dry overnight, or while you go to work, or go out to eat with the missus or the kids, or whatever it be. And then come back and take a good look at it. And then just find the washes that you like. You might find that you know, you like the brown from Reaper because it, you know, you can use it for the same thing as the old GW Devlan Mud, and you might find that you know, you liked the coat of arms washing for your tanned miniatures, and maybe for Caucasian it helps, or you know, for if you're trying to do an Indian. Because you're doing historical miniatures, and you got Indian people from India, and not Native American Indians, but you know, Indians, and this helps with their flesh tone. For all I know, I don't know. I'm just saying something. So you know, you might pick up this color or wash for that. You know, and you might find that you like the secret weapons for other things, and the Vallejo for something else, and you'll have a mixture of washes on your desk for the uses that you need them for. And washes are cheap, you know. Most paint lines are cheap, GW being probably the most expensive to get a wash from. Vallejo sells the washes in a huge container, which definitely makes them price savvy. Like I said, you'll have to go out and buy, you know, a medium, and I would suggest buying the largest bottle that you can find. Going to your local hobby store is going to be a lot cheaper than to go buy the Vallejo's large medium bottle. But I'm going to leave it here because I'm sure this video is a lot longer than I had intended. I felt that way before the end of the last segment, and I've kind of gone on a small tangent about trying out washes, but I can't stress that you won't know until you buy and try. Alright everybody, talk to you later. Please leave comments to let me know what you think. Happy wargaming.